We don't just think of advising the minister, but advising Canadian society. And so it is important that this network, or that the clusters program is very much about the campus community connection. And what you're trying to do fits very much into our mandate of fostering that dialogue. Our objectives are really to enable the social sciences and humanities community to contribute significantly to Canadian society. And how do we do that? We do that by building understanding about people and institutions and societies in the past and the present, and also by developing talent for the research community and for society. Some of you may or may not know, approximately 70% of our funding overall goes to the development of talent, particularly students, through both our mainstream fellowship programs, but also through projects like this one, where students are trained and supported and learn new skills. So it's really thrilling to see the involvement of the graduate students in this project. Our president has 3 core priorities, which are summarized by the words quality, connections, and impact. And that is the framework through which we're looking at everything we do. Certainly in terms of quality, quality is what SSHRC strives to be all about in terms of the quality of our peer review process. And we're very proud of the panel, of the peer review committee that reviewed the cluster proposals that had distinguished Canadian and international representation. We're also trying to improve the way we serve our community, and that includes our own challenges with technology, as our applicants well know. And it certainly is a priority for us to move that forward. We are also committed to building connections between researchers and society, both at the domestic and the international level. So the fact that this is an international network is extremely exciting. We're also committed to showing the impact and value of social sciences and humanities research. And that is obviously a huge undertaking and something that is done, like everything we do, as Chad says, shoulder to shoulder with the research community. So having said that, I want to, and before touching on the history of the strategic knowledge clusters and what the vision was behind it, and also talking at Wes's request about what are some of our expectations in terms of how the success of this endeavor will be evaluated, I just wanted to alert you to the fact that this cluster fits very nicely into what is very current right now at SSHRC. I don't know how many of you follow the federal scene, but in the last federal budget, SSHRC was awarded an additional $11 million as part of its permanent base budget increase to focus on areas related to management, business, and finance, broadly defined. It was unexpected. Certainly the wording was unexpected. These are big words, as Chad always says. Certainly I see what you're doing fits very much into that framework. And when we issued a special call for proposals this summer for work in the areas of management, business, and finance over a suite of mechanisms, business ethics certainly was carefully chosen as part of the wording of the call. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that, and I would encourage all of you here to look at that special call as a way to even grow the resources available to the group of people in the room. Deadlines are in November. We're in the process of designing some longer-term objectives to do something more permanent. The special call was done because we were under a time pressure. So what will be very useful for us, and I will certainly listen very, very carefully to you, and I'm asking Mathieu to take copious notes, is how the business ethics community would see priorities for the future in terms of SSHRC focusing some resources on areas of research as well as networking and knowledge mobilization and training related to management, business, and finance. Also, as many of you will know, another major policy development in Ottawa in the spring that was related to the federal budget, but which came a bit afterwards, was the release of the Federal Science and Technology Strategy. And there is a lot of energy, enthusiasm, and a certain expectation that SSHRC will play a role in the science and technology strategy with its sister councils, NSERC, the Natural Science and Engineering Research Council, and CIHR, the Canadian Institutes for Health Research. The priority areas for the S&T strategy are health, information and communication technologies, environment, and natural resources. And I'm certain that there are business ethics aspects that are certainly of importance to this network, to this cluster. If you think of, I don't know, biotechnology, nanotechnologies, et cetera, science policy, and the ethical considerations around that. So there may be some exciting potential there in terms of positioning this network, but that is not a short view, that's just providing some contextual information. Now, to just look over the history of where the strategic knowledge clusters came from, many of you were likely involved in the in-depth consultation in 2003-2004, known as the transformation under our previous president. And